Well, what's particularly interesting is that the tracking down of this accused leaker was done by two journalist outfits. One describes itself as a group of independent journalists. However, its connections to American intelligence are quite well known at this point. And the other is the New York Times, which is one of the main voices of the American establishment. And we have two entities that describe themselves as journalists, as the press, basically bragging, very proud about having worked with the FBI to hunt down a leaker. Here's what's been said.
Bellingcat's Eric Toller worked with the New York Times to uncover a trail of digital evidence that appears to identify Jack Teixeira, a 21-year-old Air National Guardsman, as the leader of an online gaming chat group where U.S. intelligence documents leaked.
Now, Bellingcat in particular likes to present itself as very independent, investigative, cutting edge, but they worked hand in hand with law enforcement to track down the identity of an individual who made classified documents available to the public and put them on the internet. And there's been quite a reaction to that on social media.
Well done for working with the feds to ensure whistleblowers are arrested. Great work in the name of senseless investigative journalism.
It's astonishingly embarrassing on the part of the New York Times, especially that instead of reporting on relevant leaks, they do the work of a fascist security state to find the leaker instead. Disgusting.
There was a time when the New York Times went to court to argue they had the right to publish leaked government documents. Now they're helping the government track down leakers. If you see a leak in the New York Times, it was planted by the government.
So we have a situation where over 100 documents of classified information related to the American government and its relationship with the conflict in Ukraine have flooded the media. Now, the individual who's been charged for this is a 21-year-old member of the Air National Guard of Massachusetts. He apparently is reported to have wanted to impress his friends on a Discord server on the internet, and so he made these documents available. Questions are raised about why such a low-level member of the military would have access to this information. But regardless, he has been arrested. Now, mainstream media has played up the politics and the views of the young man, describing him as racist, pro-gun, Christian, anti-war, etc., almost as if they're portraying him as an insurrectionist, trying to link him to Donald Trump, his supporters, and the January 6th events. Mainstream media has painted quite a picture and characterized this individual as being associated with a larger milieu in U.S. politics. Here's what they've said.
We do have a domestic extremism problem in America. One of the greatest national security threats facing our country comes from within.
Sometimes individuals that have these kind of personality defects get through and unfortunately cause these kind of problems.
And he had some extremist views about he thought the U.S. government was engaged in conspiracies.
The Washington Post, as you know, reviewed video of this suspect yelling racial and anti-Semitic slurs.
One thing that is clear is U.S. officials are indicating they will be increasing the surveillance of U.S. citizens and their internet activities when it comes to this kind of thing in order to ensure that classified documents are not leaked in the future.